Hello, me lads. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Nick from Australia, and welcome to the NRL Round 5 tips and predictions. Massive round of footy. We've got a couple of rivalry games to look forward to this weekend. There's like 3 rivalry games this weekend. You got the obviously Roosters and Rabbitohs. They're on Friday night. Obviously the oldest rivalry. That's going to be a big one. Manly Melbourne on Sunday. Even on Thursday, you got Cronulla versus Canberra, which is like a small rivalry that goes back to 2016 when Michael Ennis did the Viking clap. So it's a massive round of footy, man. But before we begin, I want to say hello to everybody that is in the live chat. We got a nice crowd here for a 8:33 p.m. on a Monday night. Very good crowd. Hope everyone's doing fantastic. Hello to everyone that's here. Hello to King Julian. Hello to Rishi. Hello to Tane, Marley, Jeffrey. Hello to Sharon, Luke Melbourne Storm fan, Diggs _96. Jason Reader is there. We got Aussie Mozzie. We've got Bullseye. We got Bunker, Josh Sami. Everyone that's here, man. I'm trying to get to you all. There's so many of you here. Daniel Bate, all the way from the UK. Shout out to you, Daniel. Will Pearson, everyone that's here, man. Holy crap. Very good crowd here, man. Very pleasing crowd. Sharon the Rabbit, is that what you want to call yourself? All right, fair call. GTT Cooper. I hope you're going to the game Friday, Cooper. It's going to be a big one, man. It's going to be a big one. All right, let's get into it, guys. If you're new around here, like I say every single stream, if you're new around here, do not forget to like the stream, subscribe to the channel, do all that good stuff, man. Really appreciate you. Like and subscribe, man. The channel's been going great, and I'm looking forward to it, man. Now, obviously, this weekend's going to be a bit different. I did a lot of live reviews last week, and I did a live stream watch along to the Cowboys Raiders game. There won't be a lot of live reviews this weekend. I'm going to be in Sydney for the Panthers Cowboys game Friday night. So I'll probably do a review for Panthers and Cowboys. As for the rest of the weekend, I will deal with that and let you guys know how we go. But let's get into it, guys. Let's get straight into it, man. Let's just get the tips out of the way. Big round. Hello to Isaac. Hope you're doing well, Isaac. All right, let's get into it, man. Thursday night football. Round 5 of the NRL kicks off down in the nation's capital in Canberra. It is the Canberra Raiders taking on the Cronulla Sharks from GIO Stadium Thursday night in Canberra. 8 o'clock kickoff. The Sharks, they are $1.50. The Raiders are at $2.50. Let me just fix the graphics here, guys. There we go. That's a lot better and clearer for you all. Raiders Sharks Thursday night. Like I said before, there's a lot of history between these two sides, man. A little bit of a rivalry between the Raiders and Sharks going all the way back to 2016. And there is a bit of hate between the two sides. Now, the Raiders, very hard to get a read on the Raiders, man. Like, you go back to Vegas, had a great win over the Warriors. Then they beat the Broncos in Canberra, and then they got smashed by Manly and lost to the Cowboys. So very hard to read the form of the Raiders. They are good at home, usually. Sharks had a bit of a hiccup on the weekend against the Dogs in a really, really tough game. This is going to be a close one on Thursday night, but with the odds being what they are, Raiders at $2.50, and with it being in Canberra, I'm going to go for a bit of an upset here. I'm going to go the Raiders, guys. I think the Raiders are going to upset the Sharks on Thursday night. I think down in Canberra, back at home, in front of their home faithful, I think they're going to get a win at home to start round 5. So I'm going to go the Canberra Raiders here to win on Thursday night by 2 points. I think it's going to be a very close game. For the first try scorer, I'm going to go with Adam Fanua-Blake from the Sharks. I think the Sharks can score the first try of the game. Go with Adam Fanua-Blake to score the first try. Raiders by 2. Should be a great game to start round 5. Now, Obviously, Friday night, like I said before, 6 o'clock. Not the ideal time slot, not my favourite time slot by any means, but Friday, 6 o'clock from CommBank Stadium. It is the Panthers versus the Cowboys at CommBank Stadium. The Panthers are $1.25. The Cowboys are at $4. Now, there is one stat that I am a bit worried about. The Cowboys have never won at CommBank Stadium. I think we're like 0-3 at CommBank. We've never won there, so hopefully we can break that this weekend. It's going to be a really good game, I think. Nathan Cleary might be back for Penrith. I think Dylan Edwards is 50-50 as well. As for the Cowboys, I believe Griffin Neame will be out with his hamstring complaint. So Harrison Edwards or Thomas McKaylee will probably come in on the bench. So it'll be interesting which way Todd Payton goes there. But I'm not going to go all the way to Sydney just to watch us lose and tip the other team. It's never going to happen. So Cowboys to win. I genuinely believe we can win. The Panthers have been all over the shop the last couple of weeks, and if we can do, if we can get a few things right, I think we can win this game, man. I really do. Cowboys to win. I'll go Cowboys by 6. First try scorer, I'm going to go with Scott Drinkwater. I think Drinkwater will score the first try of the game. Cowboys by 6. Go the Cowboys. Let's get it done over the Panthers. The other game on Friday night is at 8 o'clock from Accor Stadium in Sydney. A huge game, this one. The oldest rivalry in the NRL, the biggest rivalry in the game. It is the South Sydney Rabbitohs taking on the Sydney Roosters. What a game this is going to be. The Rabbitohs are favourites at $1.75. The Roosters are at $2.05. So not a bad price there for the Roosters if you like them. They have won their last 4 against the Rabbitohs, so they do have the wood over the Rabbitohs in recent times. But the Rabbitohs at the moment, they are a different team. Wayne Bennett has come back and he's brought some belief into the Rabbitohs. And as for the Roosters, well, the Roosters' form is so hard to pick at the moment. Like, they got smashed by 50 in round 1. Then they had that shock win over Penrith. And then they lost to the Warriors in New Zealand, and then the Titans beat them at Allianz last week. So it is really hard to believe the Roosters at the moment. They're not playing great footy. However, I think the Rabbitohs get it done, guys. I think the Rabbitohs win. I just can't tip the Roosters at the moment. And obviously, Latrell Mitchell's a big in for the Rabbitohs, so massive inclusion there. I'll go the Rabbitohs by 12. I believe the Roosters will keep this game close, and it will be a competitive game. But I think Souths at the moment are just playing too good, and I think they're a better team right now. So I'll go the Rabbitohs by 12. First try scorer, I'll go Jack Whiten, guys. I reckon Jack Whiten to score the first try of the game. And Rabbitohs by 12. I think they'll be too good for the Roosters Friday night. Super Saturday begins at 3 o'clock from CommBank Stadium. It is the Parramatta Eels up against the St. George Illawarra Dragons. The Dragons are $1.60. The Eels are at $2.40. A couple of big storylines for this one. Obviously, Zach Lomax versus the Dragons and Clint Gutherson versus the Eels. A couple of really big rivalries going on there. Bit of pride on the line. Eels and Dragons. Wouldn't say it's a rivalry game, but it will feel like a rivalry game because of the tension with the Zach Lomax and Clint Gutherson situation. But it's at CommBank Stadium. The Eels are 0-4. They need a win badly. The Dragons, they had a nice win over the Storm last week in the wet, although it was wet. It was terrible conditions, but the Dragons adapted and got the job done. I have no idea what's going to happen here. Like, if Parramatta are going to win a game, then it could be this one, because you look at their draw coming up, it's not fun. They got the Raiders next week in Darwin, I think. Hang on, let me look at this draw. Yeah, they got the Raiders in Darwin next week. Then they play the Tigers on Easter Monday. Then they have a bye, and then they got the Sharks and Magic round. So I would almost say that it's absolutely must win for Parramatta on Saturday afternoon. And look, this is going to shock a few of you guys, but I'm actually going to tip Parramatta. I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to tip Parramatta to win. I do not know why. Maybe it's the fact that it would be a typical Dragons thing to do is beat the Melbourne Storm one week and then have everyone talk about how good you are and then lose to a desperate Parramatta side. So as much as boring as Parramatta have been to watch, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Parramatta to win against the Dragons. I don't know why I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. I'm going to go Parramatta by 4 points. First try scorer, I'm going to go with Zach Lomax to score the first try. That might get them up and about against the Dragons. But Eels to win by 4. Zach Lomax first try scorer. I might regret the tip, but the Eels are going to win one at some point. So I'm going to say it's this weekend. Saturday, 5:30 up at the Gold Coast, SeaBus Super Stadium. It is the Gold Coast Titans and the Dolphins to do battle. Another little Queensland derby going on here. The Titans, $1.45. Titans, $1.45. Dolphins, $2.75. This is hard to pick because the Titans lately have been playing some great footy. They had a great win over the Knights at home 2 weeks ago. They had a great win in Sydney, a rare win in Sydney over the Roosters. Do the Titans continue their run of form? Or do the Dolphins finally get a win? Because, guys, the Dolphins' run after this game is an absolute nightmare. They take on the Panthers next Thursday night. Then they have to play Melbourne at Suncorp. And then after that, they've got the Raiders in Canberra and the Roosters at Magic Round. The Dolphins are as desperate as Parramatta. And I know I've tipped the Dolphins a lot this year. And I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to do it because they're desperate and they have to win. I'm going to tip the Dolphins. I know that might sound crazy to a few people, especially with the form of the Titans, but the Dolphins have to win at some stage. So I'm going to go I'm actually going to go the Dolphins to win this game. It's a bit of a bold call. Dolphins to win. I'm going to say in a golden point game. Dolphins to win by 1 point. First try scorer. Look, I might go Titans to score the first try. I'm going to go with Philip Sami to score the first try of the game. Dolphins by 1. Maybe a Jermaine Asako field goal to win the game in the last 5-10 minutes. But bugger it, man. Dolphins by 1. Who knows? Honestly, who knows? Saturday night, 7:35 from Suncorp Stadium up there in Brisbane. It is the Broncos versus the Tigers. The Broncos are $1.15. The Tigers are at $5.80. Now, the Broncos have been playing well since that Raiders loss. They look pretty good at the moment. I was keen on a close game with the Tigers, maybe, being within 1-12 or competing for this game. But with Jerome Luai being suspended, with Samuel Faunu injured, who else got injured on the weekend? There's a few injuries for the Tigers. And with it being at Suncorp Stadium, I think the Broncos will just be a little bit too good now. Too many players out for the Tigers. Going to be a really tough ask for them. So for me, Broncos win, and they win well. I'll go Broncos by about 18 points. So 3 converted tries. Broncos by 18. First try scorer, I'm going to go with Katoni Staggs. I like the way he came back last week against the Dolphins. Had a great game there. He's up against weaker opposition, in my opinion. So Staggs will score the first try. Broncos by 18. They'll be too good here. Moving on to Sunday footy. And we start with the Battle of Brookie. What a game this is going to be, man. Sunday, 4 o'clock, Brookvale Oval. Manly versus Melbourne. Manly in the Storm, man. This is a big, big game. Melbourne, $1.55 favourites. Manly are at $2.45. Really good price for Manly at home if you like them. Obviously, Tom Trbojevic is out, which is a big loss. As for Melbourne, Obviously, still no Jerome Hughes, no Nick Meaney. They definitely need to improve the way they played last week. Look, this is a really hard game to call because Manly at Brookvale this year have been very good, man. But Melbourne, will they lose 2 in a row? Will Melbourne lose 2 in a row? Look, I think you're going to see a better performance from Harry Grant, Wishart, Munster, all these guys. I think Melbourne will bounce back, but I think it's going to be a really good game. I'll go the Melbourne Storm by 6. I'll go Hamoli Olakawatu to score the first try for Manly. I think Manly will score the first try of the game. I'll go Olakawatu first try scorer, Storm by 6, but would not be surprised if Manly won. Would not be shocked. Should be a good game, though. And the final game of the round, Sunday night at 6:15. We're starting to get really used to these Sunday night time slots. Some like them, some don't, but depends on your situation, I suppose. Bulldogs and the Knights, 6:15 Sunday from Accor Stadium in Sydney. The Dogs, $1.35. The Knights are at $2.90. Now, the Knights, they were playing well. They had a couple nice wins over the Dolphins and the Tigers. And then, obviously, they had that hiccup loss to the Titans on the Gold Coast. Had a bye last week, so they've essentially had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. So it'll be interesting how they go against a Bulldogs side who were 4-0 to start the year. Now, what I will say, the Bulldogs will lose a game at some point. I just don't think it's this game. I think they win again on the weekend, the Bulldogs. If they lose, then maybe we start taking the Knights a bit more serious. But I'll go the Bulldogs to win. I think they'll win by, we'll go Dogs by 16 points. And for the first try scorer, we'll go with Bronson Sherry to score the first try of the game. Been liking the way he's been playing lately. So Bronson Sherry first try, Dogs by 16. So we'll go for the tips quickly. We're going to go Raiders to beat the Sharks 1-12. We're going to go Cowboys to beat the Panthers 1-12. The Rabbitohs to beat the Roosters 1-12. Parramatta Eels to beat the Dragons 1-12. Dolphins to beat the Titans 1-12. Broncos to beat the Tigers 13+. Melbourne Storm to win 1-12. And the Bulldogs to win 13+ on Sunday night. Anyway, guys, they're my tips. I really appreciate you all for tuning in. Let me know who you're tipping this weekend. If you're a Panthers fan, then I do not wish you any luck whatsoever. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you all. I'll see you guys Wednesday for the Cowboys TV podcast. There's not going to be any streams on tomorrow unless something comes out of nowhere, but I'll be live Wednesday for the podcast. Anyway, appreciate you all. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Go the Cowboys.